position for a long time. The point was that the missile defense program in Eastern Europe really annoyed Russia, if you will. That is, it made it very difficult for us to have positive relations. So the third point is that now that we've gotten rid of the missile defense program, Russia might help us with Iran. I have several responses to this one. The first one is that in the past, we have been using soft power tactics with Russia, and with the missile defense program was not only pointed toward Russia, but was essentially supposed to be guarding both against Asia and against all of Eastern Europe. The fact of the matter is, this entire counter-contention really emphasizes exactly how it is that it's better to be feared than to be loved. When we had the missile defense program, we knew exactly where we were, and we knew that we were safe, so it was possible to use soft power. However, now the missile defense program is taken away, Russia is on better terms with us, both the Czech Republic and all of Poland, as well as the vast majority of Eastern Europe, who are benefiting from the missile defense program, now have serious issues with the United States. As soon as I get to my responses. Basically, when you're using soft power, it's all a give and take. As soon as we gave things to Russia, we lost something with the Czech Republic and with Poland, various other various other countries inside Eastern Europe. At that point, this entire counter-tension really turns out to be a wash that both works for and against the resolution. Functionally, the counter-tension number one has no impact on side of the round.
Don't we have more than just one missile defense system?
The missile defense program that was talked about in this counter-contention, though, is the one that I'm dealing with. We do have more than the missile defense program, but that's the only one that has me in my phone around. Going on to counter-contention number two is pearl power. Basically said that the Japanese people feared the United States, so that was what prompted the attack. I have some responses. First of all, that's simply not true. The United States had a policy of not getting involved in any foreign wars until we had been attacked, and knew this. The fact was, we were not getting involved in World War II until Pearl Harbor happened. We had made no offensive moves. We had made defensive moves, and we had given support to our allies, but we had never been a direct hand in this World War until the Japanese chose to attack. At that point, it was not a defensive move, it was an offensive. So functionally, this counter-tension really works for. Okay, I'd like to put a big old fat turn on counter-tension number two. This really shows why it's better to be feared than to be loved. The Japanese people chose to be feared rather than to be loved, whereas the United States has been trying to use soft power tactics with Japan. At the point at which we were attempting to use soft power tactics and they failed, and Japan chose to use hard power, and then we went back to hard power, and this is eventually what ended that World War. At that point, because we used soft power and people died. When we used hard power, it saved lives. At that point, counter-tension number two works for the government team. Let's move on to on-case argumentation. First, argumentation number one. Oh, Joseph.
So are you saying that Japan, your argumentation, are you saying that Japan attacked the United States to bring them into the war?
No, Japan's choice to attack the United States is what brought them into the war. If they hadn't attacked the United States, it would at least have been a much longer time when we weren't involved. And they were knowledgeable of this. Let's move on to on-case argumentation. I have a lot of time left. First, on Iran versus the United States. The response to this about Ahmadinejad is crazy, he never talks about this at all, and that basically the same thing is hard power, soft power. Some response. First of all, we have not used direct hard power against Iran personally. We're still engaged in soft power tactics. It's clear that while we are engaging in soft power tactics, and there's been things like pulling a whole other nuclear reactor out of the blue, clearly soft power tactics are not working. If we were to use hard power tactics, we think the result would be different, and that this shows that it's better to be feared than to be loved. As long as we're trying to be loved, that is using soft power, we're having absolutely no effect. And in fact, Iran is pulling out like new nuclear reactors. This clearly shows why it is that it's better to be feared than to be loved. Pull across all of Ashton's C point, D point, and the fact that she tied it into the resolution. All of this is wrong. Let's move on to contention number two, which is Israel Palestine relations. The response to this is that soft power, the response to people hate Israel because they only use hard power, and that's why they hate them. Some response to this. First of all, look at the fact that in the past, praise